Hey guys, so it is day number 2.5 for my Cape Coral, Florida trip. So last night we went to Fort Myers and did some salsa dancing. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not used to, actually, well no, it was pretty normal. So one thing I did with this vacation is rather than it being a vacation, I made it basically a just like a snowbird trip. So basically what I'm planning on doing moving forward is like trying to stay 3 months out of the year in a warmer climate. And I don't know, it was kind of like I woke up and I was like, why am I in a place where I feel cold and I don't like feeling cold, and yeah, just a lot of different things. And I was just like, well, I work way too hard and we've made too much money for me not to go and spend a little bit of it going and living where I want to live. So I was testing out, could I actually make this thing work? And it actually seems like people are a lot more friendly down here in Florida than they are in Michigan where I actually live. So I was just like, why would I not go do this more often? So this actually was really cool because if you can see, I'm like at this Airbnb. So my Airbnb is on this hill over here by itself. So yeah, and there's like some kind of like swamp or lake in the background. So it's like super secluded. I don't have like neighbors on top of me or anything like that. And it's just really cool actually. So I'm like, I might just do this like this. I think I might try and find like 3 to 5 different houses that I really like going to within like Florida, maybe like in different spots of Florida. So one I'll do like in the north, one I'll do in the middle, one I'll do in like the south of Florida. I haven't quite decided yet because this is actually more fun than what I expected to be, and I can just relax. Now, I think the moral for you is that you can really achieve whatever you want in life. Now, I'm not saying you're gonna have to get like a private jet and a super yacht, but within like reason. Like if your goal is to save up an extra $1 million to $3 million in the next probably 5 to 10 years, you definitely can do that. There's nothing that's stopping you from doing that. It's just you have to be willing to put in the work to do the right things first. But once you've done that, then you can just do what you want, right? Like I'm not doing anything like necessarily like special or abnormal from what you could accomplish yourself, right? It's just I've been doing it a lot longer than what you probably have, and I'm doing the stuff at a much more efficient scale. This last 1.5 years, I just focused on like how can I just make my profit margins as close to 100% as possible. My reasonable expenses, not counting expenses that are discretionary, these business trips, or if I want to go get another work vehicle, like those kind of things. But yeah, it's very, very interesting, like when you really can master the business model that you're in, and that doesn't take that long. It took me really about 2 years to master the bookkeeping business model. It took me about 2 years to master the coaching business model, right? And it's just like both of them just print cash so well. So it's you can choose whether you want to do a bookkeeping business, a coaching business. I'd probably do a bookkeeping business before I would do a coaching business, just because for most people who try to do coaching businesses, the first 2 years, most people don't have any previous skill set or previous impressive thing that they can then leverage to get people to want to coach them. You know what I mean? It's like first things first, you start a successful business, whether it's a bookkeeping business, an art business, whatever, right? Whatever, maybe you teach people bookkeeping, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. And then once you have that gotten to 6 figures, then you do a coaching business. Because for example, with my stuff, let's say the coaching for accountants and bookkeepers, if you don't have a successful firm, it's really hard to make that work, right? Because what's your credibility? If you don't have any credibility, you can't really say, and then no one really wants to work with you. So you just spin your wheels for 6 months to a year, right? And even then, if you have credibility with that business, there's still some different tricks that a lot of people don't really understand. Like I was talking to this one lady, and I was thinking about bringing her on as a coach for my program, but she wanted this astronomical amount of percentage in the company. She wanted 50% of all revenue that comes from my mentorship program for her to be a coach. And I was like, and it was funny because I was like, that's not gonna work by any means. And then she's like, well, the experience I bring to the table, and I'm worth it, I know my value. And I was like, okay, how about this? Why don't you run a coaching program for 3 months or 6 months or however long, if you can make XYZ amount of money and show that you're good enough at marketing for a mentorship program, then maybe we can talk about partnering at that level. She went out over the next 3 months. She made 2 sales at her $297 course. And I was like, yeah, that's why I'm not willing to pay you 50% of our stuff, because to get a coaching business actually successful is very tricky. But enough about that. But the whole point of that is to say that you can have the life you want. You don't have to settle for something less than what you want and what you work for. It's hard, right? Because a lot of people say, like, you're getting what you deserve. Well, I don't know. I don't think that what we deserve should be measured in just monetary, like, numbers. You know what I mean? It's like you can't basically, I don't know, determine the success or failure of your life via decimal places in an online virtual bank account that you never have full access to. You know what I mean? I think that's something that a lot of people, like, really struggle with, just, like, mentally and just thought process wise, because it's how you're conditioned, like, thinking, conditioned to live. So that's why my model is not to necessarily try and get, like, rich. Like, I'm not the person that's going to tell you to go get $10 to $50 million, right? I'm more the person that's like, hey, if you can make like 150, 200K a year, and then you can choose how long do you want to keep that pace up, or how long do you want to do this before you either sell your business or before you retire. That's more of what my message is. I'm more of a cash flow person, where it's like, I just increase the amount of cash flow that I basically make to cover any kind of expenses or future expenses or unforeseen expenses, right? So that's basically what I'm doing, so that when I want to go do something wild like this, take a 3-month vacation, or 3 months in different states or whatever, or I want to go buy like a Porsche, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably the next thing that I want to either do. I want to either go get a new rental property, or I'm gonna get a Porsche. Probably, it's not an or, it's probably an and. It's probably which one do I do first. I don't know. If I can get other camera died. Yeah, so maybe what I do is I, like, go and buy a place down here, or someplace that I really like. I don't know if I want to buy another place, when I can just rent it. There's this guy named Grant Cardone. He goes, rent where you live and then buy rental properties that you're gonna sell to other people. So if I was going to go and purchase something, I'd probably be either in Michigan or someplace where I'm, like, closer by, so I can just rent it out more efficiently. Yeah, but I don't know. It's either going to be a new property I have to get, or I'm going to get a Porsche and, like, 179 it or whatever. So we'll see. Who knows? But maybe I won't do any of those. Who knows? Maybe I'll just keep the money in the bank. I have a cool thing too, right? So, like, there's a lot of, like, cool things you can do. Like, for me, for example, for my tax bill, I never have to pay my tax bill directly with, like, my funds directly. I literally just put it inside of a dividend stock that basically will match however much I have to pay. So this year, for example, one of the dividend stocks was going to give me like 60K, so I'm going to push it in there. So it's unique, because yeah, you have to pay more taxes and stuff, but it comes down to a cash flow game. Like, where is the cash kind of coming out of? And it's cool, as I'm, like, doing these meetings with different financial advisors, and I'm doing these meetings with people that are a little bit more wealthy, seeing some of the stuff they do and the way they think. It's really interesting. I don't know, but it's weird too, because I'm in a place where I've hit pretty much the financial level that I really enjoy, where it's good income, but it's not necessarily working like 60 hours a week. In a lot of cases, it's not working probably as many hours a week as what you work at your job, actually. So everything is just so automated and just efficient. More money is not always the answer to everything. Sometimes it's about more health, more time, more relationships, more exercise, more whatever, right? More food. So I think that's the place that I'm at right now. I'm hoping to bring you along for the ride as well. Not just you watching these videos, but you working with us. We'll get you to that place to where you want to be, so you can start living the life that you choose, not the life that you're given. Right? A lot of people, what happens is they get stuck in, like, where they were born. They never really get outside of that. Not that there's anything wrong with staying there, but if you ever wanted to, having the ability to do so. Or you can do both. You could go live someplace warm, but then you could come back to wherever you're born and still interact with people and still maintain those relationships. I just want to give you choice. That's what I want for you. I want choice. I want you to have control. I want you to be able to be in peace, to be able to enjoy life. That's what I think life is more about now, right? So once you have your basic needs met, and then once you have abundance, then it's trying to get, like, true abundance, not just financial abundance, but life abundance, the time freedom, the ability to go spend with your kids, the ability to go travel. Say you want to go travel the world with your kids during the summertime. You can do that if you have a business, if you have something that's working for you, and that's spitting out cash flow on a consistent basis. That's what I want for you.